Shannon Finder, and I'm going to talk to you today about the do's and don'ts when saving for retirement. What would you do if I told you you only have 15 years to save for retirement? What would you need to achieve that goal and be able to live your current lifestyle? You still want to go on vacations, help your college children and spoiled grandchildren, and enjoy your life. But every dollar you spend now is a dollar less you have later. What are some ways you can spend less money now so you can save for retirement? Avoid car loans, use coupons, shop thrift stores, and spend less. If I could go back and talk to my 20-year-old self, I would tell her that the next 30 years will go by fast. I know everyone says that, but you don't truly understand that. I would explain how the stock market goes ups and downs, so learn to play the long game. You need to think about what age you want to retire and how much money you'll need to achieve that and be financially independent. Today I'm going to give you some advice about retirement planning. If you have the opportunity to learn from somebody's past mistakes and benefit from them. We started out in our early 20s investing and contributing monthly, but we failed to understand the long game. Last year we met with a financial advisor who told us not to watch the stocks, but to trust the long game. They explained that if you look at the stock trends, they always fluctuate. Trust that this will continue, and the longer you're invested, the better the outcome. That's where we went wrong. In the early 2000s, there was a big drop in the market. We didn't want to lose more money, so we sold. We decided to wait and start saving for retirement until we were older and no longer had children at home. We failed to weather that storm. In the book Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant Guide to Financial Freedom by Robert Kiyosaki, page 207, he states that there are waves in the ocean, there are great waves in the market. Instead of the wind and sun driving the waves of the ocean, the waves of financial markets are driven by two human emotions, greed and fear. So start young and look ahead to that long game. Another place that we lost money for retirement was not maxing 401k contribution. My employer put 2% of my income toward a 401k, but would match 50% for every dollar I contribute with a max of up to 3%, for a total of 5% contribution. I advise you to find an employer and contribute early and maximize that match. If you start saving when you're young with your first real job, time is on your side. You can contribute less and end up with a larger payout and gain in the end than if you start when you're older. In The Beginner's Guide to Saving for Retirement by Dan Clay, page 119, he states, the single greatest mistake that young people make with their investment portfolios is thinking that because they have so much time until they retire, they can hold off investing until later. He goes on to say that waiting just a few years can cost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is another big advantage when you start with the beginning of your career. This gives you time to weather those storms. In the history of the stock market, we all know there's ups and downs. And How to Spend Your Way to Wealth and Freedom, Buy This, Not That, on page 17, Sam Dogan writes, if you can manage to live off of what's left after saving 50% of your after-tax dollars, it will mean that each year you've saved is 1 year less, 1 year of living expenses. So the sooner you start saving, the more years living expenses you'll be prepared for when you choose to retire. At the beginning of my career, I had a friend who put aside 50% of her income for retirement. This was almost 30 years ago, and now she is close to retirement and close to enjoying all of those years of savings. In the book, Everything You Need to Know About Saving for Retirement by Ben Carlson on page 34, it explains that lifestyle creep is one of the biggest deterrents to saving money, because the more you make, the more you feel you deserve. Making more can make your life easier, but you also must ensure that your spending rate doesn't outpace your savings if you ever truly want to gain and build wealth. One way to prevent yourself from gaining financial freedom is by burying yourself in debt. Avoid credit card debt, car loans, and living above your means. In The Simple Plan to Wealth by J.L. Collins on page 23, he says, if you intend to achieve financial freedom, you're going to have to think differently. It starts by recognizing that debt should not be considered normal. It should be recognized as the vicious, pernicious destroyer of wealth building potential it truly is. It has no place in your financial life. Also in The Simple Plan to Wealth by J.L. Collins on page 41, he says it best when he says, stop thinking about what your money can buy and start thinking about what the money it earns can earn. Once you begin to do this, you'll start to see that when you spend money, not only is that money gone forever, but the money it might have earned is gone as well. Start by asking yourself, how much do you need to live comfortably after you retire? On the compound calculator, it shows how you can compound interest works in your favor the longer you save. Earlier I said that by starting to save for retirement at your first real job, the biggest benefit you have is time. You have more time to make your money work for you. By going to the savings calculator, I put in $500,000 with a 7% interest rate and 40 years to retire with a starting investment of $100. I would need to contribute $208.09 every month in order to reach that goal. What happens when we start just 10 years later? Same initial investment of $100, but we end up having to double our monthly contribution to $434.28 a month in order to reach that same goal. We only lost 10 years. Let's say we delay that even longer, and we only allow 15 years for our money to grow. We would need to contribute $1,639.81 a month in order to end with that same retirement goal. The amount of money you actually invested over 40 years was $99,880 compared to $295,155 actual investment dollars over 15 years. It costs you far less over time to reach that goal of your actual money. Start saving at the beginning of your career. Don't fall into spending traps or anything that doesn't make your money work for you. Remember to always play that long game.